Hello everybody, this is Carl Bown here from Comic Culture and the Game Store in Lincoln in England, and today I'm going to have a look what's in the box for the battles of Mollwitz and Chotusitz, which is volume 9 from the Battles from the Age of Reason produced by Clash of Arms. Let's have a quick look at the box first. Quite a striking box in red, picture of Frederick the Great on the front, of course. This is these battles are famous for him. On the back, nice colour back. Two small battles in this one. I mean, I have the entire series, and to be honest, it's probably my favourite tactical system of any that I've played. Superb rules, beautiful counters, beautiful maps. Situations are very interesting as well. Okay, so this one covers two battles. Battle of Mollwitz, which is from 1741, and the Battle of Chotusitz from 1742. So it's got two full-size maps, 420 colour and 280 black and white counters, rulebook, exclusive rulebook, charts and tables, dice, etc. Okay, so they've made quite an attractive looking box. I wasn't sure when they said they were going for the red because it doesn't particularly go with the style of the other boxes, I don't think, and I would have liked them to keep the same style. But, you know, I'm impressed. It does look good. So let's have a look what's in the box. Okay, well, first thing you find is a couple of D10. Okay, very important. All the rolls are done on a D10. Then you've got the Battles for the Age of Reason rules of play. Now, this is the 3rd edition. I find these rules, they're comprehensive, they're 48 pages, and they're complicated, but they're very, very tightly written. I've been playing the system for a long time. You don't get a lot of questions that are not answered. You may have a lot of questions, but you will find if you look through the rules, they are answered. Now, obviously, it's a tactical system, so you've got command control, you've got formations, you've got facing, which is very important. You've got movement, fire combat, close combat, cavalry charging, cavalry pursuit, the different states you can be in, so you can be disordered, you can have skirmishes out, you know, you can be in line or column. You've got command control, things like that. So all these are obviously very important. Like I said, the rules are quite comprehensive. It's 48 pages of them, and it's not huge text, so don't expect to be reading these in an afternoon while you're trying to watch television at the same time. You're going to need to concentrate on these. If you're having any difficulty with the rules, they did produce a book, sort of magazine that you could get, which covers a lot of the information. However, there are quite a lot of examples of play in here. I mean, just basic stuff like this, you know, just a paragraph, up to more graphical examples as well. They're not in colour, but, you know, and I would have liked them to be in colour. I think it would have been a bit easier to read. Some of the pictures certainly would have been easier to see, but, you know, no problem at all with the way that they are. Maybe it's just because I know the system really well, but I think they're quite easy to get into. Okay, then you've got the battle rules. Now, these are the exclusive rules for Mollwitz and Chotusitz. To be honest, I've not heard of either of these battles before I'd got the game, or before I'd heard about the game coming out. So quite interesting to see what they're like. They're obviously fairly early ones. Okay, so you've got the game information there. Special rules. Okay, what you will find is there are often special rules for leaders, special rules for certain types of terrain. So here you go, there's the Prussian leader rules. They're the rules so far for Mollwitz, and then we got Chotusitz. Okay, turning the enemy's flank, Prussian leader rules again, general notes. You get a lot of special results in this game. One of the things that makes it interesting is you go in for a bit of combat, and if one of you rolls a 0, you'll have a special result. So you can never perfect plan what's going to happen. You can never quite be sure, no matter what you send in, whether things are going to turn out the way you wanted. Now, you've got some of the scenarios here. So you've got Mollwitz scenario 1, the infantry clash. You've got the Battle of Mollwitz, early start scenario. Okay, the empty battlefield and the cavalry clash. So there's 5 scenarios there just for Mollwitz. And then you've got Chotusitz, which is scenario 6, the full battle, early start again. And it's got all the victory conditions. It tells you everything that's coming in. Now, the other thing you get in this, which, you know, if you're interested in the period, then you really like, is historical commentary. So well worth the read. Gives you context, tells you about the war, and it tells you about why these two battles started. Okay, and a little bit of information there about one of the next ones that's coming out, 7 Battles of the American Revolution. So I'll be looking forward to that one as well. Okay, on the back, you've got an explanation of how the loss charts work. As you take losses, you mark them off on charts. Organisations will gradually become disorganised, and you know, they'll decide to that they're not happy anymore. When you lose enough organisations, then you lose the game. Okay, tells you what the counters represent as well. So you've got army leaders, you've got wing leaders, you've got command leaders, you've got some musketeers, and you've got an artillery unit there. The counters, which I'm just about to come to, I think are superb. Okay, there you've got fatigue counters, different levels of fatigue. Obviously, they go 1, 2, 3, 4. Special result markers, fire markers. There's some infantry there. Now, you know, the symbol, the cat badges are on there. All the different description of what unit it is, who it belongs to, the size of it. On the back, you've got how good it is in combat and its morale level. Okay, that's just a few of them. Here you've got more. Okay, again, they're beautiful counters. On the front, you've basically got the size and you've got the movement, and on the back, you've got the information that relates to combat. I've always loved these. They look spectacular when they're set up. I mean, you know, the cavalry obviously especially are superb looking. The cavalry were known for wearing really flamboyant outfits in that period. Then you've got your basic markers. Okay, so you've got your, you know, your damage markers if you want to put damage on. Sometimes you can put damage. Some people play it where you put damage on the table. Sometimes people just use the loss charts and mark the damage off. Obviously, if you use the loss charts, you've got to keep referring to them, but it does mean that you don't get quite so many counters on the map, and the map looks a bit nicer. Okay, then you've got a turn record track. Every time you activate, there's a chance that the turn will move on. And once it gets down to the bottom, then that turn is over. So you've got 6 o'clock, 6:20, 6:40, so they're 20-minute turns. And gradually, as the day goes on, the turns get shorter and shorter. And, you know, some of the games have got night turns as well. So that's the turn record track. Okay, organisation charts. Here we've got the Austrians at Mollwitz and the Austrians at Chotusitz. I think this kind of thing in a game just looks superb. Makes it really easy to set up. And it shows you that there's not that many units aside in this game. I've played, you know, much bigger games of this system, and it is quite a long system. Don't get me wrong, it's not a game that you're going to finish in, you know, a couple of hours, turn around and set it up again. It's a detailed, complex system, but superb. It feels really good. Command control is really nicely done. You activate individual wings or individual formations. Okay, here we've got the Prussians at Mollwitz and the Prussians at Chotusitz. So again, looks superb. Then you've got the close combat results table. Okay, so you can see all the different possible close combat results. You know, you've got morale checks, you've got rout, you've got disorder. Don't forget though, doesn't matter what the ratio is, that if one side rolls a 0, then there's going to be a special result. There's your fire combat results table. It tells you how many steps, what power you actually, fire strength you actually get, depending on, again, which formation you're in. Are you in attack column and you're in line? You're going to get more guys in line firing if you've got 5 guys in a unit than you are if you stood in attack column. Okay. This is the loss charts that I was talking about. Obviously, you know, it makes sense to photocopy those. So there's the loss charts for the Prussian army at Mollwitz and the Prussian army at Chotusitz. You know, I say just photocopy them before you start using them. The Austrians. The Austrian one must be somewhere else. Then you've got the special results table. So, you know, you get an infantry fire, special results. You might get the battalion guns fire. So if you get that, you get to re-roll and cause more losses. Or, you know, you might end it with a leader loss. Close combat special results. Everybody takes damage. Close combats always end with somebody running away, effectively, or getting wiped out. This is just charts and tables. There's quite a lot of stuff in here, but it includes more copies of the loss charts. You know, information about all the different morale checks, why you take a morale check. So, you know, if there's an opportunity charge, what are the possible results for that? Pre-close combat, what are the possible results for that? Okay, and they're split by Austrian infantry artillery, Austrian cavalry, Prussian infantry artillery, and Prussian cavalry. So, like I say, it looks complex. I don't think it's nearly as complex as it looks because the rules are so comprehensive. There's more copies of the close combat and fire combat tables as well. Formations. Formations are very interesting, very important in this game, and the fact that it shows the difference between the Prussians and Austrians is really interesting. So if we have a look at the back here, you've got infantry going from a 2-hex line into a 2-hex march column. If you're in that formation, you want to end up facing that direction. Then if you're a Prussian, which are in 3 ranks, only costs you 2 movement points. The Austrians, it costs you 3. So one thing it highlights is the doctrinal differences between, and the training differences between the 2 armies. Really interesting. You've got squares, you can be general order, you know, you can have hooks, so you can have guys hanging around to make sure that you don't get attacked from the side. Let's have a look at the maps. Okay, this is Chotusitz first. Both one mappers, both quite small games in comparison to some of the others, like I said before. See, very pretty maps, really nicely done. You've got some gentle hills on there. I'll do a box out of this and do a proper cutaway of it so you can see it better. There's the town of Chotusitz itself. Big lake there. Okay, there's quite a lot of water on there. Here you've got the map for Chotusitz. In the top left hand corner, you've got quite a large lake. Then heading over to the town of Chotusitz. Over in the top right hand corner, you've got the start of the Twin Rivers and some woods. Then another town, lake, river runs all the way to the other edge of the map. Then we've got a gentle hill and another small lake in the bottom left hand corner. And then you've got the Mollwitz map. Now these maps are done by Matthew Hinkle and Charlie Kibler. Really attractive, you know, look like good period maps, to be honest. I think, you know, you look at these and you do get a sensation of the period. You don't think, oh, this is World War II. They feel like maps, probably because of the Gothic text. Okay, again, Mollwitz, but I'll do a box out of that one. Here we have the map for Mollwitz. 2 streams, and the top left corner, Mollwitz itself at the top, at the centre of the map. The map is offset, so north actually points to the top right. You've got the town of Groningen, a couple of tree-lined roads, Armsdorf there, and then more of the streams. Very attractive. And finally, you've got a bit of advertising bluff on some other stuff. If you're interested in this period, or you're interested in tactical, I cannot recommend these highly enough. Like I say, I've got the full set. I made the mistake of selling them once. I sold them all because, you know, they can be quite hard to get hold of, and it took me ages, once I'd realised what a mistake I'd made, to go and get them all back again. The system, obviously this same company produces Napoleonic, but this is just so much a better system. It is more complicated, it does take longer to play, but it just feels right, and I'm always happy to play one of these games. Okay, this is Carl Bound from Comic Culture and the Game Store in Lincoln in England, saying thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to press like if you've liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more of the same. Cheerio!